You are currently the only person in this conference.
Hi Prisha, can you hear me? Just give me a minute. Give me a minute. Right, can you try now? Right, now can you? You are unable to unmute yourself? Okay, so give me a minute. Let me sort this out. Can you give a try?
Yeah, I can.
Brilliant. I haven't accepted anybody, but are you able to? Would you like to present yourself? Do you have any slide, or should we take it as a very casual chat?
I don't have any slides, but I've got like an introduction in my a chat.
Perfect. So what I will do, I'll give you like 5-10 minutes, whatever you want to walk through, just a self-introduction. You can explain about the challenges, what you have come across, what you did, what is your achievement, and the challenges, general suggestions, different tips from your side, how you manage your time, and etc. I'm not going to disturb you anything for initial 5-10 minutes, and then I will walk through a couple of questions,
Should I
and then
Should I answer the questions you sent to me in the introduction?
no, not at all. Probably I will ask this sort of similar
Okay.
question. So
Okay.
that will be a kind of a question and answer session. So it will be useful for others as well.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine.
And then we will, I haven't accepted anybody. I'm still waiting on a few of the students. So, and then what I will do, I will ask questions from the panels. If any students want to ask any question, they will ping me and then we can take it.
Okay. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So give me a couple of minutes.
Sure.
Hi, Prisha. think we can take it from here. Let me check whether still anybody is waiting. Just give me a minute. Let me quickly check. I think we can take it from here, Prisha. Thank you. Thanks for accepting the offer. Thanks for hosting this wonderful session. My initial thought always, I think you correct me if I'm wrong. I always come from a sort of solid background. If it is GCSE, we need to kill ourselves. We need to spend a lot of time preparing for GCSE. Don't do anything else. Don't focus on any other hobbies, any other career-oriented activities. Just focus on studies, studies, studies. So this was kind of my thought. But then over a period of time, this thought has changed though. Many students like you started proving, you know what, Nat, no, studies is not all alone. We can manage our time. We can prioritize. We know what we are doing. So the idea for the session to challenge your challenges, how you overcome all that, how you manage your time, what sort of challenges you have gone through mentally, physically, obviously involving yourself in a sports activity. It is very, very tiresome mentally as well as physically. After spending good number of hours there, come back and sit for GCSE revision. Can you open your eyes wide? Can you listen? Can you focus? So that I have got a millions and millions of questions, but I'll keep it quiet for the time being. So I'm happy for you to start and walk through with us your challenges. We are very glad to see you.
Okay, so my name is Prisha. I'm 15 years old, and I was obviously doing my GCSEs. So I'm a swimmer, and I swim for a club. I've gone to like national levels, regionals, and I swim both in the pool and then open water. Open water is basically swimming in lakes, rivers, and oceans. So I do different competitions. So I swim in the ocean, and I'm training for my English Channel. And some competitions are like a 10 mile competition, a 5K competition, stuff like that. So I obviously compete with people my age, but then when it comes to open water, I compete against all age groups. I got the Fred Slater Trophy, which is the British Long Distance National Swimming Association trophy, and it's for the Swimmer of the Year. I'm one of the youngest people ever to swim Ullswater both ways, which is around 22 kilometres, and I got a record time for my age. So, one of the biggest challenges that I faced while swimming is probably, to be fair, if you know me, I need my sleep, and a big part about swimming is that you have to train a lot. Like, people think that when you swim, you can only do swimming, so as you get older, the amount of sports you do drop off and you focus on just swimming, because I swim for around 20 hours a week, which is morning and evening. So obviously during my GCSEs I had to during school I had to wake up in the morning at around 5 a.m, go to training, then come home, go to school, revise before I go to school, and then do my GCSEs. So today I'm going to be talking to you about how I handled that a bit. Another challenge is probably being scared of what's under you, because in lakes and oceans it's not clear water like a pool. It's like green, pitch black sometimes. And when I first started off, sometimes weeds used to touch my feet, and the first time I encountered a jellyfish, I literally got out. I could not face that. And I remember the first time I started training, I was so scared to go, because I had nobody, and I had like my biggest fear was fish and sea creatures, but I overcame that. And so if anyone's starting off, I just say, like, it's not that bad. It's generally not that bad. But that's it.
Oh, thanks a lot. That's really amazing. It's very glad to see there's quite a lot of different things are working it out. how do you manage your timing from focusing on when compared with the kids of your age, other students who did GCSE, they will be just wake up in the morning, focus on studies, revision, go to school, revision, more revision, more revision, come home, more revision. So don't you ever come across a fear? Oh, you know what? I'm spending my time with the water and with the open reservoir and caring about the fish and jellyfish. Well, others are thinking about biology, 6 marker, 4 marker, graph questions, and this and that. So how do you overcome? You have a fear internally always. Am I spending my time wisely? Am I going to make it out? What sort of challenges you have got? Like how you have gone through those?
Yeah, so obviously in school when you speak to your friends, especially in year 11, everyone talks about revision and it's the main topic of conversation. So when I started year 11, I was really stressed because I could hear everyone talking about how much they revised, especially closer to GCSEs. I was having a conversation with my friends and I was like, oh, I revised 4 hours like last night, and they were like, oh, we revised 6. And I thought 4 hours was good. So obviously I stressed myself out by hearing other people and seeing what they did. But then after, like, I stressed myself out so much, I thought I should do more. But then it was later on that I realized what I do for myself is good, because everyone has different revision techniques, but for me it works because they decided to copy out all their notes and then make new flashcards, say a week before. But advice is that in year 10, make all your notes already. So when it comes to year 11, you have all the notes, because that honestly saved me. I had no time to make new notes, so I used the ones from year 10 and they helped me so much. Further training, like balance, I do this thing called like calendar blocking. So I have my calendar and then I blocked out like 2 hours and just looked, like in the morning I looked to my calendar and I was like, okay, so after school I have 2 hours of training, I get home, have this long break, and then it's just working like the rest of the day. And me personally, I'm the type of person that I need to know what's about to happen. So I need a plan. So at the start of the week, for like almost since the start of year 11, I made a revision timetable, and I'm telling you, I promise you, this is going to help you so much. It honestly saved my life, because before in year 10, I was doing whatever subject for however long, and I was quite clueless. And then year 11 was like, okay, I actually need to start being serious. So I sat down with my parents and I decided to make a revision timetable. This was basically where it's like what subjects you're going to do throughout the week, how long you're going to do them. You set out your free time and the subjects. So I had like the main timetable frame, but I made sure to change the hours every week, change what subject, so I didn't get bored, and I maintained like a good balance. So say Monday, I'm gonna do like 4 hours of swimming, 2 hours of revision. Then Tuesday, I'm gonna be doing 5 hours of revision and 1 hour of swimming. And I managed to keep that continuum, like I managed to keep continuing that throughout. But obviously as I got closer to my GCSEs, I had to reduce the amount of swimming I did. But I promised myself that I would keep it, because I feel like if you're a sportsman and you really like your sport, well, to me, I feel like swimming is like, it's more like a break to me, because I get to go with my friends. And if you if you're finding your training hard, you go through it with your friends, so you form like a bond. Like your sport is a community, and especially people your age, they're doing sports, they're doing GCSEs, they're doing the same sets as you, they're doing the same competitions as you. So like if you're ever struggling, go to your friends, go to your coaches, go to your teachers, go to your parents, because honestly, my friends helped me so much, because we used to go to training in between sets. Say I had an exam the same morning, we used to revise together, and then we used to, so instead of having breaks on my phone, I used to go swimming, and I treated my swimming as a break. So if you're doing sports, treat your sport as a break from your revision. So in that case, because I basically used every single extra break I had efficiently. Say you go to the gym, so I go to the gym, I do the treadmill, stairmaster, stuff like that, or then I do my gym from home. I always keep myself occupied by watching revision videos, like on my phone while using the treadmill, stuff like that. So you make sure to use your time efficiently. But I'm not saying don't have any free time, because trust me, sometimes Saturdays, Fridays, I just laid in bed at home doing nothing. I didn't get out of bed, I didn't go swimming, I didn't do revision. I sat at home watching Netflix all day. That is normal, that is safe. Like, not safe, but like that's a good thing to do. You need a break sometimes. But I'm just telling you, use your time efficiently, because when you're at my stage in year 11, I know no matter what my grades, I tried my best, and I know that I revised as hard as I can, and I'm confident that whatever grades I get, I'm going to be happy with them. But when you open your results, don't be that person who sees that 8 and you're 1 mark away from a 9, and you're like, oh, I know I could have done that if I just did that extra bit of revision. Because you need to say, you want to be the person who got that 8, 1 mark away from a 9, and said, oh, it's okay, I tried as hard as I can. Like, obviously you want that 9, but you're going to be closer to doing it as long as you know you tried as hard as you could.
Amazing, wonderful. The most interesting thing what I like is take sports activity as your break. That's exactly the point where everyone is looking for, because people always think, oh, it's sports going to take your time off, but how are you going to focus on studies? Well, if you use sports activity as your break, then it is going to help us, right? So because you love it, it's not something that you don't love it. You love it, so you use as a break. Effectively, you come back from break and then you focus on. Amazing, very good point. My next question is how far your parents perceive your objective. You are a sports person and you have a vision you want to achieve, and which you have achieved through different phases. Does your parents accepted this? Have they don't they have any challenge? Because it's a kind of very normal phenomenon when they go to a parent-teacher meeting to go and meet the teacher. Obviously, sometimes there is a challenge. Always, you go and attend some other competition somewhere else, but your marks may plummet on 1 or 2 cases. Does your teachers accept the reality that you need to go for a competition on the day before? So hence there is a little drop. Does your parents accept it, and does your parents supported you, or what sort of challenges they have got, as that's the same as other parents do have?
Yeah, so my parents have been extremely, extremely motivational for me. They've been a massive help to me, especially during, like, if I ever want to quit, they're the first people who are going to be like, whatever you want to do, I stand by you, I support your decision. But they always make sure to explain whatever's going on to me. So they are my number one fans. They help me through everything. So yes, to be fair, obviously during parent teacher meetings, if my teacher's like, oh, she's sleeping in class, she's a bit behind, it's natural for parents to worry. But we had a sit down, we talked about it. We did discuss slowing down on my swimming, which, yeah, obviously I'm not going to manage to maintain 20 hours of training while doing my GCSE. So it was a valuable point they made, but something they never ever brought up to me is that we should stop swimming, because I feel like a parent's job is to keep motivating their child, and that's exactly what my parents did. They supported my decision no matter what. They're the ones who helped me decide. Like, they helped me come up with a revision timetable. They talked to my teachers. They spoke to my teachers about my training, and we had so I know this diver, and he's a national level he swims for like national levels, and his diving requires him to go to other countries. But obviously, my swimming doesn't require that. It just requires going to the Lake District, the sea, stuff like that. So I don't need to travel. But if your sport takes you to that level where you have to go abroad, then the main thing is that he told his teachers, and they used to. So in year 11, sometimes some schools may allow you to get free periods or like library periods or like PE lessons. So he was allowed to miss those and go to the library and revise. He was given a special tutor, a special teacher who was just giving him time to revise, and in classes he could do his own revision. So if you're a sportsman and you need to go abroad and you need to do this thing, these like amount of challenges, then tell your teachers and tell your school, because my school was a massive help. They gave me days to take rest, days to revise from home, just because I was swimming. As long as you have evidence, your school will help you, like massively. I also feel like my parents helped me, because your parents take you to these places, so you really would not be able to do it without them. So just be grateful for your parents, to be fair.
Oh, this is really, really useful. This is glad to hear that you have got a fantastic support from your parents. Obviously, this is a common challenge for many parents. If they don't realize what is going on, it's very difficult to support and realize that they need to support the whole system. Otherwise, you always find it you are working against them. That is not going to be very helpful. I'm really glad that your parents have helped here. It's fantastic. There is a saying in and around the school, right? As soon as you chip forward to year 10 and then you move on to year 10, year 11, when the GCSE fever kicks on, all your friends in your school, they're going to talk about only GCSE subject, this and that, preparation, revisions, and etc. So let's say you spent a whole week preparing for a race and you did it, you got a cup, and but then when you come to the school, then only you realize there's quite a lot of things going on. So um, how far you have got a reasonable support from your school friends? Have they accepted the reality that you are not in the school for the last couple of days, couple of weeks, where you spent on something else, on a training and etc. Very, very, very stressful activity. And now you are back home. Do they really supported you? You know what, giving the notes or sharing or supporting an idea. You know what, this topic is really difficult. Or was it worked out on the other side? How was a support from the school friends rather than obviously your school teachers, a teacher might have helped you, which kind of a very understandable, very glad that your school is helping. But how about your school friends? Do they really supported you?
Yeah, so my school friends, we're like relatively the same sets, same tier, higher tier, stuff like that, same subjects. So my school friends were actually really, really helpful. So if I ever missed a few days, they would send me the work. As well as my teachers, they would obviously send me the work. They would send me the homework. They'd send me that, like this. My friends would send me their notes. They'd and we in school we had this special thing called study Saturdays. So that's where you come into school on Saturdays and you revise with your friends. So that was really, really helpful, because my friends teaching me the stuff I missed was really good. And then I also they were just a massive help to me. They like told people about my swim, so like other people knew as well. And they if I ever came back from a swim and like to school, they would. And if say I ever felt like down or unmotivated, or I was like, oh, I missed this out. How am I gonna pass my GCSEs if I missed this much out? They always helped me. They always motivated me. They always made sure. They always kept me on track. They're like my parents, to be fair. They cared a lot about. They're like a very tight group. So if someone goes through something, we all go through it together. So it's like I was doing it for them as well. So sometimes when I'm swimming, I think about them. I'm like, okay, I've got this far. They helped me. They helped me through everything. I need to like I did it for them. Also I feel like my friends are like they're sportsmen themselves, or some of them are, especially the ones from my club. So if it's like sometimes girls from my club or the people from my club, we all go together and revise. Like we do revision sessions together because we all miss school ourselves, and then we all just come together and revise. So it's really fun being in a group of friends because it's like we're related, to be fair, and it's just really, really helpful.
Wow, really, I'm really glad your parents helped you. You have got a great support from your school, either from the teacher, head teacher, the administration perspective, as well as you've got a great support from your friends. That is more important. You have got a society which is supported you in all favor. Um, but being said that, your body is really difficult to adjust to all the stretch outs, right? So, for example, you go for swimming, let's say you work 4 hours in the morning and then you go to school, you do all that, you come home, you are end of the day, you are a human being, you are tired. And when everybody comes home and okay, I'm going to do biology revision, I'm going to do French, and next there is a test, etc. But come on, you already done like 8 hours, 10 hours for your body. Your body will not be able to cope up. So when you come to the particular day, for example, tomorrow there is a test, there is a topic test, but then you are really tired. You have a competition. You are really done for that day. How do you cope up? Obviously, you can't, wake up the whole night and just revise over. That's your body, right? So, was there a motivation, or what? How did you tackle those sort of challenging situations? Your body is really tired. That's a sports activity. You are tired.
Yeah, so if I ever felt like this, it's I tell my coach, and usually when I feel this way, I ask my coach, and he tells me whether I should come training or shouldn't. If I come home from school one day and I am so tired, I can't revise, I will go to sleep because I'm not gonna I can't revise if I'm about to fall asleep. And my parents know this as well, so they wouldn't wake me up until I wake up. During my GCSEs, I never pulled an all-nighter. I'd say the longest time I stayed up was probably 1 a.m. just like for English or something. But don't pull all-nighters because trust me, they're not you are gonna remember the stuff, but it depends on yourself because you could just read from a textbook, then you actually go to your exam and you completely blank because sometimes that last minute revision doesn't actually go in. Like it's really short term and it's not gonna go in. So when this happened to me, I would sleep as soon as I come home from school, and then this would mean I wake up at around 7, have dinner. Then if I'm still sleepy, I would go back to sleep, but I wouldn't go training in the morning, and I would make sure to wake up really early in the morning, or like 4 5 a.m. so I could go, because my school didn't have study leave, so we had to go to school. So if this happened, I'd also make sure to like take all my revision stuff into school. So in school, in lessons, I can just like keep my head down and revise. And I know that most people actually woke up really early during the GCSEs, right before their tests to revise. So I would try wake up before everyone else, so I had an extra head start because it was kind of a competition because you're against the entire country. Whoever does more revision wins. So I had to wake up really early in the morning, but obviously I was well rested because I went to sleep straight after school. So that really helped me. Also my if I ever struggled with revision, because sometimes reading textbooks make me fall asleep even if I'm not sleepy. So I always something that really helped me is teaching the topics to your friends, to your parents. So I took psychology as a subject, and there are loads of case studies. I'm sure geography has case studies as well. So get a whiteboard, blurt. Blurting is basically writing down all the information you remember on a whiteboard and then rewriting it. That stuff. And then teaching is I cannot tell you guys how important, how much that helped me. I stand in front of my parents in the hall holding flashcards. I gave them the textbook and I was like, okay, I'm going to teach you guys this topic. So I taught them all the case studies, all the core theories, core studies, and I remembered them so well. So even if you don't, say your parents aren't home, I called my friends. But to be fair, calling your friends is not the best option. So if you want to do this, try it with your parents, because your friends will distract you, especially if you're not at school. And then I'd say go to school early, because during your GCSEs, if you go to school 10 minutes before your exam starts, which is or like 20 minutes, I think you're supposed to go before it starts, go earlier, because to me, I focus better in school sometimes, or it's to be fair, it's depending on the day, but I focus better in school. So, and that last minute revision with your friends can be helpful sometimes, but also depending on the person. If you're the type of person to be really stressed, I'd say don't do that, because it could just make it worse. But for me, it really helped me going into school, getting my friends' informations, like whatever they're like English. We used to share what we thought, and it was so helpful.
Really fantastic news. I think your parents are ready to write a GCSEs this year or maybe next year. So you have taught them enough. Good. This is a nice strategy. I really agree. So it's kind of replaying, right? When you start replaying it, come back. Slowly it gets settled in your mind. That's a very nice strategy. I think, and I'm not necessarily whether you're a sports person or not. That's a very nice strategy to everyone to follow. I must definitely recommend. That's a nice strategy. So I think that's it from my side. Any question from anybody? Anybody want to ask Prisha? We have 1 more minute. Sorry, we are running out of time. So we have got 1 more minute. If you want to ask any questions, ping me on the chat window. So thank you. Thanks a lot for your time, Prisha. I really appreciate that. So taking your time, walking through your challenges and how everybody was helping. I think it's the end of the day, whether someone is helping you or not. I think you have got a determination. You have got a passion for the sports. So I think that is driving forward. Well, obviously we can't skip GCSE. That is mandatory. So I think you have got a passion, a bit of a both, I would say. Unless and until you have passion for studies, you can't push it through. Otherwise, you give up. That's it. I'm focusing on sports. I'm going to give up on GCSE. I think you have got a passion for both. You managed to pull it over. So I wish you all the very best. I would like you to take the same spirit, same momentum, continue on to A levels and as well as uni. All right. So that's a question for you. How did you motivate yourself? What is the point of motivation? What did you do whenever you're lack of something?
When I was lacking in motivation, to be fair, this happened quite a bit. So people think that it's not normal, but to me it happened quite a bit. Sometimes it was 5 a.m. in the lake. It was pitch black. The lake's black. It was freezing. I was cruising along, and then my coach comes to me, and coaches aren't supposed to be nice. I mean, they are, but my coach, he was like, just think about, like, take it out of perspective for a bit. No sports, no work. Just think about how much time you've dedicated to yourself, how much time you've spent revising, how much time you've like put off plans with your friends, how much you've given away just so you can revise, and think to yourself, if I stop now, what was all that for? Because if you came this far, what's the point stopping now? You should finish what you started, because if I'm 6k through a 10k swim and I'm struggling, I'm going to think, there's no point getting out now because I'm 6k in and this won't count for anything. What is, if you're halfway through revising for your GCSEs, if you're just above halfway and you haven't even taken them yet, what was all that for? What was that wasted time for? What could you could have been going out with your friends. You could have done this. So if you've started to revise and you're losing motivation, just think about how much time you've sacrificed for yourself and how much time you've used trying to get the best grades. And then also think about your future. So I want to be a doctor. I want to be a sports, I want to work in sports, work with sportsmen, physiotherapist. I want to go into that field. And I'm thinking, what if I don't do this now, then I'm not going to be able to do that. Your present sets you up for your future. So if you don't, say you skip a single page on a biology textbook and you're thinking, oh, that's not going to come up. That could be the single mark that takes you from a grade 8 to 9. That could be the grade that your university sees and oh, she's got a grade 8 and this person's got a grade 9. We're going to take her. That's going to be the university that your job wants you. Your job's going to be oh, she went to that university, it's better. So that one page you missed on the biology textbook has cost you a good job. Now that's obviously a bit far, but that's the way I thought of it. That the things I'm doing now, the 2 years of hard work and pain are going to set you up for the next 40 years of your life. And trust me, that thought would motivate you. And if that doesn't motivate you, to be fair, I don't know what will. Because to be fair, joining sports it changed my life. Joining swimming, it genuinely changed my life. I used to be the most quiet, shy girl. I used to never speak to anyone. But as soon as I joined swimming, my confidence, I was so confident. I made so many friends, and mentally I got so much stronger. My mental strength has grown so much. Now if I start a swim, I will not get out until I finish it. And I feel like sport should do that to so many people. I feel like you not only grow physically, you grow mentally. And if you're feeling unmotivated, just think about your future. It's just remember, 2 years of pain is worth it for the rest of your life.
Wow, 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 wow. What a fantastic motivation. I really like it. Yeah, that's just not giving up, never give up. Especially if you're off the way through, you want to set yourself, you want to tell yourself, yes, I achieved. I don't want to. Yeah, of course, everything, whatever you want to achieve, you will have a lot of challenges always. So we want something to keep us motivated. Fantastic, fantastic points. All right, thank you. Thanks for that. Any other question from anybody? Anybody want to ask anything, Prisha, about our achievements? That's of course, yes. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, very well done. Yeah, thank you, Krisha. I think that's it from my side. There's not any question from anybody. So once again, I use this opportunity to thank you. Thanks for spending time with us to share all your hard work, the challenges, the things which has motivated you, how good your parents are, how the support from your parents, and as well as friends, school, or a lot of things. I'm sure you pulled across everything. You have got a determination, you have got a passion, and I wish you all the very best to continue to achieve. Never stop, never stop. This is a journey. There's nothing else to start and finish. It's a journey. So I wish you all the very best. Thank you. Thanks for joining with us.
Thank you.
See you. Cheers. Take care. Bye.